Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the T110E4, an American Tier 10 Tech Tree Tank Destroyer, a vehicle that got an even bigger buff in the latest update of the game. What did Wargaming do? Well, they gave this vehicle sandbags, and I'm running double sandbags just for the memes, which increases my total hit points by 180, allowing this vehicle to now sit at a whopping 2,260 health. When you pair that with the crazy good penetration this vehicle features, the solid levels of camo, and best of all, 630 damage per shot paired with solid armor, I think the E4 really is the strongest tier 10 in the game for most situations that you will be stuck in. Now, that's not to say the E4 doesn't have weaknesses. Its major downside is the reverse speed, because it only reverses at 10. If you are reversing at 10, it does put you in some problematic situations, because you also don't have a fully traversable turret, meaning that if things do get behind you, it's very bad. Not only that, but autoloaders, let's say the T57 Heavy, tries to poke me, it can take 1200 of my health off, especially with Shell Reload Boost, before I can even have the opportunity to get back into cover. Also, high alpha tanks like the T30 and 183 can be big threats as well, due to the fact that I'm in a tank that, again, can't reverse quick enough sometimes to evade the shell. But, thankfully, the E4 is pretty good on power to weight. We can see even with me taking off improved fuel, I'm accelerating fine, and not only that, but the gun on this tank is just insane. 630 damage per shot for only a 13-second reload is really, really nasty, and you can definitely get out some very dangerous and scary chunks of damage. So what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to start off by moving across here, and oh, there you go, we have the E5 detected. Let's see what this E5 does. Well, shows me his lower plate, and there you go, 572 HP right into his vehicle. That's gotta hurt. Now we just simply reload, and in a couple seconds we'll have another shot, so let's reload again. And I'm just going to poke this. Let's see if we can get a shell. Oh, well, we get hit by the 57 rather annoyingly as well. So, yeah, oh well. I can't really say that was a mistake on my part. I just didn't think that the 57 Heavy had the opportunity to see me there, which he obviously did. But you know what? I think that makes up for it. E5 didn't repair his ammo rack, and that allowed me to completely eliminate him from the battle. Kind of wild. So, we have the T30, and obviously the T30 is a threat. I don't want him to poke me. Like, I don't know what he's going to do, so I'm being a little cautious about that. But I don't think that the T30 is going to. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to push to the side of the 57 Heavy. And there you go. Look at that damage per shot this tank has. We absolutely chunked that T57 Heavy's hit points off. And we have more DPM than the T30, so I don't even need to worry here about getting out reloaded. We're not able to high explosive pen this tank, but still, that is a 670 damage shot straight into his tank. So just like that, we are up to 3,500 damage. And now we are going to simply push his tank. Again, mobility-wise, the E4 is actually fairly mobile, and that's what I always like about this tank, is the fact that it actually has good mobility. I was hoping to get a shell out into his tank, but just sadly, we weren't fast enough to get around that corner. So we see the Jagdtiger, we see the 183, and the Vickers CR. The only tank that I haven't seen is the T54, but that tank's not really a big ol' scary boy, so we're going to move up and see if we can get some damage out into these players. There's the Jagdtiger. Let's see if that 183 tries crossing. There's the T54. Oh, and there is the 183. Well, we're going to aim it on the 183 as that's the big boy threat, and he's dead. That's a great result here. So now I'm simply going to move on up. And I'm hoping that the T54 allows me to see his side, although the Jagdtiger's right here, and that means I get an easy 532 shot. We plop on our adrenaline, we start to push the T54. So let's see if we can get some damage into this T54. We have the Chieftain who shoots him once, and we're going to push him here, and bonk, 674. I mean, the damage output of the E4 is just wild. It really is. And not only that, but the gun is accurate enough to get the job done, especially because I'm running refined, so we actually have decent accuracy as long as we let it aim in for a bit. So let's actually take a look at these post-game results. We did a 1400 damage AMRAC to the E5, which was nice. That was an additional, like, 700 damage added to my tally there. So we ended up dealing 5,578 damage this game. We killed 3 tanks. We assisted 4. And, yeah, I mean, just a super easy win. And that's kind of what the E4 is. It's a heavy tank with a gun that does damage akin to a tank destroyer. And not only that, but it has great levels of pen, and it has stupid DPM. Take a VK-72, for example. The VK-72 has pretty good armor, but it was nerfed quite heavily in the armor department in the latest update of the game. The VK-72 reaches a top speed of 30-ish. This tank can go 40. The VK-72 has 2,200 DPM with Kali. This tank has 3,000 DPM with Kali. We have more pen in this tank. We have more armor, honestly, when using this vehicle's gun depression. And when you add all that together, it just begs the question, why even drive a super heavy when you can drive a much faster, better version, which doesn't even have that many less HP. I mean, yes, it's not 2,700 hit points like you'll get on a VK-72, but it's not an awful amount of HP either for any tank, especially a tank destroyer. I mean, we're only about 250 HP less than a 2-5B, for example, so it's pretty good. Now, one thing you will have to be cautious about with this tank, or any tank destroyer at that, is the fact that you still are a tank destroyer. You still feature weaknesses that heavies aren't going to feature. A fully traversable turret is one of them. So that is something to always keep in mind. Let's see, we have the 140 who overpokes, and oh my god. Welcome to bad RNG, ladies and gentlemen. While this gun does obviously feature some great characteristics, it also has some really bad ones. And, well, we saw one of the really bad ones right there. Let's see what we can do. Well, I was a little scared of there being a tank destroyer on our flank, but it looks like that's not actually going to be the case. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore this. I'm going to poke the 140 and get a nice 710 chunker. I, right now, want to clear the mobility, because that's always going to be the biggest threat in this tank. However, our 2-5B wanted to clear himself, so 2-5B has fully taken himself out of the game. Now we're going to get a shot into the type. Oof, I don't like this at all. This team is really, really bad. E3's dead, and our 1-2-1B has not done anything, really, to get any clears. Okay, let's aim in on the 140, and there you go. We get the clear onto his tank. That Yag Panzer 100 is still sitting in the back. Let's just pray that our 1-2-1B, okay, he does get the clear there, which is pretty good. And the Yag Panzer 100, while being a threat, I just wonder... Oh! That was wildly lucky. That was wildly lucky, bruh. Okay, well, I'm going to ignore the Yag Panzer now, because that's not really something I need to worry about. We are going to push over towards the Super Conqueror and the rest of the enemy team off towards this flank of the map. So, let's see. I mean, this is still a bit of a sussler, really. I don't like this at all, actually. This is bad. Like, what's going on here is real bad. Because they have the Jagdpanzer 100 on my side, we have the Super Conqueror in front of me, and our team is losing quite drastically to base cap. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to see if we can maybe push this Super Conch, but I don't like this. This is bad. Alright, there we go. And now that gives me the ability to push over here, which stops that Super Conch from having the shell on me. We're going to aim it on the M103 turret, aiming with a gold shell, and there you go, 544. The problem is base cap. You can see that the base cap is slowly going up for the enemy, and that is a serious problem. We have the Super Conch on the flank, and not able to hit that Super Conch just yet, which kind of sucks. M103 hits me as well, which sucks even more. I'm going to ignore the Super Conch, pray that he doesn't kill me, and we're going to push this M103, because I don't have a choice. So let's angle it. No, we don't get a bounce there. 700 on the base cap now, but the good news is that, realistically, with a pen here, we should be able to kill the M103 with a standard roll. There you go, 600 damage, clearing his tank. Now, we still have to worry about base cap, but we'll see what actually happens here. I'm going to slowly make my way up this ridge. That Super Conch is just going to be a serious problem. 700 on the base, and our 54 is not doing anything to help right now, which kind of sucks. Okay. Well, they also have a Waffenträger Panzer IV. Yeah, chances are this is not going to be a win, but we're going to see. I'm going to step into base B right now. Well, not right now, but I will step into base B. There's the Jagdpanzer 100. We're going to aim it on his tank, and there you go. Nice. Oh, but he goes right through my tank's turret cheek. That sucks. Makes me a one-shot. Oh, man, that's not good. That Super Conch is a serious problem, and oh, our T-54 bleeds to him, which is not entirely great. I am going to make my way up this hill just like so, aiming on that Yag. Okay, good. That pushes the Yag back. That means I can step into the base finally. Okay. This is exactly what I need here. And this should give me the ability to push. Never mind. There, Waffenträger Panzer IV was camping in the back spot, which nobody ever would have been able to predict. I actually thought he was AFK, to be entirely honest. I really did. Because my brain was thinking, well, the Waffle has not been spotted the entire games. There's no way that the Waffle is playing. No, he was actually sitting in their spawn the entire battle. Well, whatever. We did 4,400 damage, and we had a pretty solid result. Our team had about the same brain cells as room temperature water. I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here? 2 and 5 B YOLOs does 400 damage. And not only that, our 1-2-1 B YOLOs does 600 damage. Our E3 did okay, but again, you YOLO'd. And while I guess I could have killed the 140, which would have helped him out, there was still a Leopard on his rear. It wouldn't have changed the fact that there was a Yag at the back. Our team just did not use their brain cells at all there. Don't YOLO into the open when there's a freaking Jagdpanzer E100 sitting in the back who is constantly going to be shooting you. But, oh well. We did 4,300, and it is a great example of even in defeat where the E4 does so well. With the amount of HP it has, it just chunks opponents. And when you pair that with the fact that this vehicle is such a solid gun, it has really, really good levels of DPM, it has solid HP now, I think the E4 is easily the best tank destroyer in Tier 10. I think it's one of the best tanks in Tier 10, and I would highly recommend to consider grinding this. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.